Alright Dragon Boaters, welcome to another review that I'm going to be providing for you today. I'm going to be looking at a Chinook paddle, and the Chinook paddle is called the Sundowner. Chinook is the brand and the actual model itself is called the Sundowner, and this is a carbon fiber, very light paddle. Now this paddle, as I can see right now, has a little bit different color weaving. Most weavings have a black color and it's pretty standard out there. This one here has a nice little red color, and Chinook, the advantage of Chinook has so many different colors. You can have any color that you wish to choose. All you have to do is just make sure you put it in the right order. Alright, so I'm going to talk a little bit about why this Chinook and looking at the pros and the cons of this Chinook paddle, and just to give you a true understanding of what this paddle really represents. The first thing I want to just talk about is the color and then also the finish on this paddle. The color of this paddle is great. It really stands out, and it's definitely not like any other paddle that I've seen out there. It's not just a complete paint over. It's actually a carbon fiber weaving with the colored weaving that goes throughout. So you've got a bit of a black and a bit of a red that goes throughout this paddle, and it looks really sleek. The other thing I want to mention as well too is that with this particular paddle as well, it's got a gloss finish. So if I reflect it in the light right here, you'll see that it's got a nice polished finish on the paddle. It does also come in a matte finish, and you will need to actually request for that as well too, but the standard is a polish finish, and it's quite nice in a polished finish. The other thing I want to mention as well too is I'm just going to come up closer just to show you there's actually no joint right here. You can probably see the actual black joint when they've done it in the manufacturer, but there's actually no joint, and I'm just running my finger through it. It's actually smooth all the way through, so therefore it's a one piece. The other thing I want to mention as well too is that it's also a one piece handle as well. There's actually no joint here, and no one can actually pull it open here. So resizing is not possible unless you actually get it directly done from the manufacturer. That's a good thing. It's actually a very strong and powerful joint. That means that it's very unlikely that this will come off, and I was just trying a little test there. Same thing. Now I want to show you the handle here as well. It's actually a T-grip, but it's actually molded around, and you can see that a little bit of a molding effect, and you can wrap your finger right or your palm right into it, and that's really comfortable from what I felt. A lot of them are pretty square T-shaped, and it's just straight across and then just around at the end, whereas here it actually allows you to mold straight into your palm. That's what I like about this particular paddle. Now let's talk about the weight. The weight is okay. I felt a lot of paddles that have been around about the 380 to about 410 gram mark, which is very light, and they're made from the Canadian brands like Apex and Burnwater, and also the Rub paddles as well, and the ZRE. The ZRE has taken it one step further and made it even lighter as well too. Though in comparison to the Chinook, I think this paddle weighs around about 450 grams. It feels like that way, but it is already comparative very light in terms of a good quality paddle. And this particular paddle, in my opinion, if you have a look at it, is a good starting paddle because it's got a good price point. I think it's around about the between the $230 to about $250 mark. So that's a good price point. And then also secondly as well is that this particular paddle is light for what it's worth. The quality and the finish of it is of high caliber in my opinion, and it's finished very well. Now one last thing I want to show you is a tensile test, and I just want to show you how this particular paddle functions under stress and also flex as well too. I don't recommend you try this at home, but I'm just only showing this as a demonstration so you know exactly how it looks as well. Alright, so as you can see right here, I'm pretending as though I'm putting this paddle inside the water, and I'm putting pressure at the pressure point, which is the joint right here, supposedly a joint. And I just want to feel what the flex is. It's actually quite good. There's a little bit of flex, not too much. Okay, so the paddle itself is quite good. It's not too flexible. So now, in other words, when I'm talking about flex, how the paddle feels through the water, it doesn't provide too much flex. So it's relatively between a medium flex to probably a stiff as well. So that's something that I look out for, because you want to feel when you actually put this paddle through the water, you want to be able to feel the water resistance through. And because it's carbon, most of the carbons are quite stiff. If you were to compare this to say a wooden paddle would probably provide a lot of flex, so when you pull through the water, it actually takes all the absorption and you can't really feel it. Whereas these kind of paddles are designed to actually be very, very stiff, and you shouldn't be able to feel too much flex, and I didn't feel too much flex through there as well. Alright, if you want to find out more information, you can simply head over to dbv.com.au and you can see the more specific details on the paddles as well. That's it for today. Enjoy this video and we'll see you soon.